boom, uppercut.
Explosions. We told you our budget had expanded, and it has. See all those massive pyrotechnics that Ryan's throwing off over there? We spent $3 because I got a coupon in the mail for 2 free karate classes in the kids dojo. Now, luckily, we said Ryan was like an ogre child, so we got him in for the kid discount, but he learned 3 sweet karate moves in his time there.
Yes. And one of them I can't do on the screen because it would just explode everything.
Yes, and that is all because of Hanson Toys, our official sponsor of the Geek Dad Report. Granted, they've not paid us any money, but they've given us some sweet toys that we can take apart and touch.
And we all know how much we love the touch things.
Hanson Toys, available now. We're actually going to have a whole episode, I think, dedicated. They sent us a box of goodies, and we've been saving it to get closer to Christmas so we could do a toy episode. So that'll be coming soon. But anyway, until then, Rubber Ducky, pick one up. What were we at? Oh, yeah, welcome, everybody, to episode 155 of the Geek Dad Report, the one show dedicated, formulated, specially created, and to bring you guys all the nerd news you need to know, all while singing you a fun song, and it goes like this. I love you, you love me, we're a happy family of big giant
nerds. And I'm going to have to stab you in the face.
A couple sports fanatics.
I'm going to stab you in the face. Just stop.
We're all gonna spend the next hour together. Woo! That was a beautiful voice. I'm Brian West, the beautiful voicest, moistest. Ooh, moistest. I am Brian West, the siren with the beautiful voice.
And I'm Ryan Thomason, who's now got the stupid fucking Barney song stuck in my head. Which is almost as bad as the Lamb Chop play-along song.
No, it's way worse.
If Lamb Chops play along.
Barney theme song is literally the worst kid song ever created. I don't know. Some people would argue that new like Baby Shark doo 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 doo, I'm a shark doo 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 doo. I still say Barney's way worse than Baby Shark.
Barney, the pace on it's slow. Yeah. It's not fast. It's like
and you know what, people? Don't you judge me. I saw this shirt and I fucking had to have it. Yeah. And remember, everybody, I love you.
Now give me a big hug.
I feel like Barney's probably now on like a back alley sucking dick for cocaine or something. I mean, he's...
I always wanted to know what the person under the costume
We haven't heard from him in a long time. He came out in the 90s, and like most celebrities in the 90s, they went sideways real quick. I mean, I felt like he went into a life of alcohol and cocaine. I'm sure
he would started snorting Vicodin and...
You know, and end up doing handies in the back of a van.
Yeah. Like, I love you.
I love you. He's singing sadly. All right, this is nobody wants this.
I love you, heroin.
I love you. You love me.
You'd have to get something because his arms don't go up to his.
Well, he's a terrible. Like he's supposed to be what, like a purple T-Rex. Like, first of all, why do you make a T-Rex a kid's like icon?
Oh,
T-Rex eat people. You know, I'm really starting to think that Jurassic Park ruined Barney. I mean, but look at these arms. These are literally not T-Rex arms. I mean, that is just a lie. They're just, not only is he purple, I mean, I can deal with the purpleness, but these arms are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we doing? We're
doing a show called the Geek Dad Report, and we're talking about Barney and stuff.
I told you we should change this to like old nostalgia fuckers or something.
Yeah. Watch 2 adult males ramble about nonsense.
And usually throw in a bunch of 80s and 90s references.
Yes.
Because that's when we're still living our glory days.
And meanwhile, everyone else, all our kids are making videos on YouTube that get like 5 times the amount of views.
Hey, you know what? I don't care. My daughter still thinks that I'm famous because I'm on the internet. Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty true. My kids are like, I wish I could have my own channel.
And they think that our show is way cooler than my actual job that sends us on real vacations and other things.
I remember I told them that like I had like one of our videos had like 1,000 views or something. They're like, "What? No way! You had 1,000 views?" Like, yeah,
maybe combined. Whatever.
yeah.
I don't care. You know what? The fact that anybody watches our nonsense is honestly amazing to me.
We are very thankful for the faithful.
I really feel like one day we're gonna have some like Beatles style fallout, and we're gonna break up, and we're not gonna do the show anymore. And then in 10 years, we're gonna just get our comment section. We're gonna let it sit and fester in the internet, and then somehow somebody's gonna find it 10 years from now, and we're gonna have the most popular show on the internet. And they're gonna just like try and get us back together, and we'll be like, I don't know if I can ever work with him again.
But by then it'll be like virtual reality. And everybody
like, dude, have you seen this old show? These guys are probably like 90 by now. It's amazing.
Man, look, I can just digitally edit sunglasses.
Look, we just put dicks in their face all day long. Watch this. Look at this. The Geek Dad Report with dicks in our nose. Dicks.
Ooh, just getting hit and
yeah, we're just laughing and just dicks are flying at our faces all day long.
God
not
damn
cool.
It,
you know what? Not cool, young generation, 50 years from now. Fucking not cool.
Well, essentially it would be like our grandkids. So
I just want to state for the record that me and Ryan do not give consent for future generations to edit in dicks flying at our faces the entire time we do the show. Especially when I'm like, do not put a dick in my mouth. Internet.
You just asked for it right there.
Do not consent.
Yeah,
No consent. Not given. Where are we at? All I'm asking is if one day our show goes viral and we become infinitely famous, please do it before we're dead. Like, I don't care if I'm 87. Just make sure me and Ryan are both alive so we can, like, high-five each other on the internet and be like, it was all worth it.
Yeah, we don't want to be like the old guys that are sitting there and then all of a sudden we get, like, the notification and we got to, like, dust off old passwords.
I'm like, Ryan,
how do we log in?
Ryan, look at the YouTube.
But we're like so old, we're still typing stuff, and like by that point, it's just, like all like telekinetic through the microchip in your brain.
Ryan, we're still in our chat. Ryan, dust off the YouTube. Look at our views. 20 billion views. Holy shit.
Why are we still using these smartphones? Nobody uses them anymore.
And our asshole great grandkids will all be billionaires because of this show.
Yeah. And they're just, where's our inheritance for that?
I know. And then we get like all these awards, but we're fucking dead, so we don't give a shit.
We win a Nobel Peace Prize because we drink.
Nobel. I meant like some bullshit like internet Grammy or something. You think we're gonna win a Nobel Peace Prize for this show? You know what?
We're gonna be like Bill and Ted. We're gonna write the greatest song that unites the planet.
I think you've stumbled onto our blueprint for this show. We are literally the Wild Stallions version. We're the fucking Geek Dad version of the Wild Stallions.
Yeah. We just don't do it yet.
Enough of that. Let's get to the show. I mean, we ramble, but we still haven't done our ramble section yet. That was like a freestyle ramble.
Yeah, that was the freestyle ramble before the ramble.
All right, well, we're going to talk about our Halloween because last night was any of you watching this tonight on Thursday, last night was Halloween, and me and Ryan took our kids out trick-or-treating, and we had some fun stories we figured we'd share. But we do have a fun show planned for you guys. We got some great questions from you guys from the Faithful 50. There's still time to put one in, but we don't air live, so why am I even mentioning that?
Yeah. People can still leave.
Oh, yeah, and quick, for anybody who says, why don't you guys do live shows? Well, there's like Facebook live shows. Well, because me and Ryan live in different states. That's why we don't do live shows. It's much harder.
It is literally 11:50.
And when the comments start flowing in on Ryan's end, he turns into like a bug with a light. He's just like, bzzz. We lose Ryan completely. But, but we got some good news for you guys. We'll talk about There's a few things that happened. Nothing crazy, but some stuff worth talking about. If we have time, we got a little TV time around the tube we're going to talk about. And finally, we got a recommendation. It's an oldie, but a goodie that we're going to be talking about at the end of the show. But first,
the best.
Halloween 2018. Me and Ryan did not know this, but apparently we pretty much rocked the same costume last night.
Yeah, I was dressed in my dad clothes because that's the amount of effort I put into it. But I did have my lightsaber, and I kept turning it on and
Well, I was a little more
like, make noises and stuff.
Yeah, Ryan has one of the combat lightsabers. It's still a sore point for me that somehow Ryan got the people who make combat lightsabers to send us a lightsaber that he keeps in his possession at all times. He doesn't even have a star. I have like 4, 6, 7 Star Wars tattoos, and I don't get a combat lightsaber. But Slappy McGee over there, who's got 1 Star Wars shirt, gets the combat lightsaber.
Hey, I got at least 2 Star Wars shirts.
Yeah, so I also had my lightsaber. I put a little more effort into my costume. I wore black gloves, and I put on my raincoat, my black raincoat that has a really sweet hood, and I wore it up, so I looked like a Sith Lord. I was going to say, who are you? I said, I'm Darth Dad. Yeah, trademarked.
So what were your kids dressed up as?
And I had who cares about them? I was talking about my costume. And I had I had my Kylo Ren lightsaber, and like Ryan, I was also like, and what was really cool is whenever the kids like didn't know where we were, I just stuck my lightsaber up in the air and they knew exactly where to find me.
Yeah. My son was Kylo Ren, and he rocked the shit out of that costume. So
you know what? I retract everything bad I've ever said about you. You're actually a pretty good parent, clearly.
I do what I can. My daughter was going to be Rey. Lincoln was going to be Kylo Ren, and she was going to be Rey. But she couldn't find a Rey costume that she liked. So she ended up with...
There's like 2 of them.
I know. Well, the store that we went to, the Halloween store, didn't have any. So... And it was already too late to like order it on Amazon because we accidentally waited too long for hers.
Accidentally waited too long. My kids both went as pirates for some reason this year. I'm not really sure why. I did not know pirates were in this year. There was no Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It's been a year and a half since we went to Disneyland, so we haven't been to a pirates ride. And I'm not really sure why they both chose pirates. But my oldest, went with generic pirate lady. And my youngest daughter went with, they watched The Descendants. It's like a Disney show where all the villains have kids.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just more like a musical show.
Well, one of the girls, Ursula, I think, had a daughter. And so she's a pirate. And that's who my daughter was. She was the Ursula. She was the villain. Shocker. Chuck was a villain.
That surprised me.
We had a neighbor who dressed up like It. And my daughter immediately ran up to him and said, "Ooh, I want to take a picture with you." She was the first one. I got to show you this. Hang on.
God, was it like a creepy It?
Yeah, look, there's a picture of me with It.
Oh my God.
Yeah, look at that.
So it wasn't just a mask. Like they went all out.
No. Yeah, there was like a house. There was like there's a house in my neighborhood that really kind of goes all out.
Oh yeah.
And then
all the stuff out.
There's Chuck, and she ran right up to him.
Nice.
Yeah. Look at that. Pretty impressive. Yeah, that was pretty cool. We didn't know about it until we were walking around, because we usually go up to a couple of different friends' neighborhoods and trick-or-treat with them. I mean, we have a nice neighborhood for trick-or-treating, but...
yeah. I remember you guys got a lot of houses in your neighborhood.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I live in like a suburban neighborhood, so there's a bunch of houses. But our friends... Somebody in their neighborhood builds like this. They work at Microsoft, so they got buckets of cash, and they built this giant like pirate ship. And every year they're handing out like cases of Kit Kats, and they throw like gold at people. I'm like, wow, flaunt your money there, Bill Gates. But it's really cool. They're a really cool family. They opened it up for the whole community, and
did they at least give adults like beers or anything?
Well, no. Well, that's the other reason why we go to our friend's house, because there's one neighbor who gives out Jello shots for free.
Oh, nice.
And then so like there's one neighbor who gives out Jello shots, one neighbor that has a pirate ship, one neighbor that actually turned their garage and house into a haunted maze.
Ooh.
So that's why. So but this year it was kind of raining and a lot of them had shut down. So we're like, let's just stay home. So we walked around our neighborhood, which actually was a really good neighborhood. I mean, we just did one loop and my kids' buckets were completely full of candy bars. And so what's cool about doing it from your own home, we had a bunch of people, my sister came over and a couple of our friends came over, and all the kids went trick-or-treating, is that when you're at home, you get to make giant sodas for the road that involve booze.
Yeah.
You put them in your coffee cup, your giant coffee cup, and you just sip on it. Nobody judges you because they think it's like, oh, it's cold. Good idea. And I'm like, yeah, it is a good
We
idea.
went to our friend's house, and we were just walking around with our beers. We just had just glass bottles, just drinking.
Well, that's because you live in Philadelphia. It's
Yeah.
redneck country.
Yeah, totally redneck country out here.
No, my favorite part, though, was when there was like a church that had set up a tent in our little community park, and they were handing out popcorn and like hot chocolate and stuff. And so we walk over to the kids. The kids want popcorn, and I'm just drinking my booze, and I'm just like, yeah, that's right. I'm drinking booze in the in the tent of the Lord. And this one nice lady's like, "Would you like a refill on your coffee?" I'm like, "Ma'am, you don't have strong enough coffee for what I'm drinking." And then she was like, really like, took her a minute, and she's just like, "Oh," I'm like, "Go ahead, you just judge me, judge away."
Yeah. Just remember, Jesus made wine out of water or something.
Which is why I drink alcohol, because Jesus said so.
Yeah. And nothing beats whiskey super nipples.
Oh my God, yeah. Nothing ever beats whiskey super nipples. Funny story, though, since we're talking about Jesus. So before we went out, I was handing out candy. So we didn't even go out in my neighborhood until about 7. Trick-or-treaters started showing up about 6. So I had a good solid hour of people knocking on my door.
Yeah.
And so I got candy, and I'm just handing it out to people. And so these kids come up. I mean, there was a lot of teenagers. And you know what? Here's my thing. I know a lot of people like to complain and bitch and moan about teenagers trick-or-treating. I'm not one of them, because I would rather them trick-or-treat than egg my house or be out vandalizing shit.
Or be out doing something stupid. I mean,
yeah,
let's let them get the more candy.
Come on. They dressed up in a costume, and they're going around. Let them be kids for a little bit longer and get some free candy.
They put the effort in.
Yes, they're not like out drinking or driving around wasted. They're walking around trick-or-treating.
Or getting pregnant.
Yeah, they're... What? I mean, yeah, don't do that either. Anyway, so, like, these, I don't know, these boys showed up at my house. They were probably, like, 13, maybe 14. They were either preteen or right at that, like, awkward teenage, you know, becoming a teenager. And so they trick-or-treated, and they all had costumes or whatever, and so I give them candy. And you can always tell the dynamics of the group, right? There's always kind of the chunky friend. There's always kind of the leader. There's always kind of the goofy kid. And then, you know, the kid who thinks he's super funny. So the kid who thinks he's super funny decides to try and out super funny the guy who always was super funny. And and so he pulls up, and he's like, he walks up and he grabs some candy. He's like, "Well, thank you, sir." He's like, he pulls out, he's got this cross. He pulls it out, and he's like, "Do you have a moment to talk about your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?" And I said, "Absolutely fucking not. Grab your candy and get the hell out of here." And he looks at me.
Take one out of the box and just...
And then all his friends fall down laughing at him. And he starts laughing, and then I start laughing. He goes, "I'm going to be honest, sir. I did not expect that response." And I was like, "Well, that's what you get around here, buddy. Now get the hell out of here." And I threw some candy at him. And he grabs it and starts laughing, and they all ran off laughing. I closed the door, and I'm listening. I can hear them all still like, "Oh, my God, that guy was hilarious." And they're just like, "Oh, he told you." I was dying. It was so funny.
It just warms up your insides. You're like, "Oh, a bunch of kids thought I was awesome."
Well, it wasn't even that. It was just like, "Can I talk?" I mean, I'm guessing he's doing it for shock value and getting people like, "Ooh, ooh." And I just roll into... Can I talk to you about Jesus Christ? You absolutely cannot. What you can do is get your candy and get the hell out of here. And he's just like, I'm like, "Listen, dude, I've been doing this for a long time, buddy."
You came to the wrong house.
You came to the wrong house. You want to battle a shit talking? Let's do it. I should have challenged him to a shit talking duel right there on the spot.
You just made the story for...
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're
for the rest of the month.
Oh, dude, those kids are probably telling their friends still about this old guy that was like, "Get the hell out of here."
Does it make you feel weird when kids call you sir and stuff?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm
30 the other day, and I was like,
dude, I'm 40. I finally accepted that I'm on the wrong side of young. So, I mean, it is a little... I mean, it's nice. I mean, I still look kind of young, so I don't always get the sir, but yes, it's definitely strange. All these kids are calling you sir, and I'm just like, fuck. God damn it. But I mean, honestly, I've already started, but every time I look at my retirement, I'm like, fuck. and I'm planning for retirement. I know I've officially gotten old. I'm like, God damn it. What the shit happened?
25 more, 26 more years.
Listen, look on the bright side, Ryan. In 50 years, we're going to be internet famous. I can feel it. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Sitting in that retirement home that our kids just dumped us at because they didn't want to have to deal with us anymore.
We're going to be like an old fine wine. We're going to be like a barrel of wine that everyone thought was shit that was discovered like 200 years later, and it's just like the best wine in the history of forever.
We just got to make sure that we both go to the same retirement community, and then we'll whatever equipment that they have at the time.
Listen, no, we've got to play the angle that we're never getting back together, so that way when they force us to, they'll pay us a shit ton more money.
Oh, so we have to just be like, so we'll be at separate retirement homes, but within distance of each other.
Well, yeah, I mean, it'll come out later that we've been secretly plotting this all along, and we've been friends forever. Yeah. But
no, we won't. Well, we'll have to delete this episode, obviously, and sometime.
Listen, we have so many episodes. No, we ramble for like literally 10,000 hours on our YouTube page. They'll never figure out this one episode. All right, we should probably get into the news. What do you think? We got like 10 minutes worth of news. You want to talk about news? Let's talk news. Are you ready, Ryan, for the Ninja News?
I was born ready.
Are you ready to bring those fucking 3 child karate lessons to play right now? I want to see type form.
I'm ready.
All right.
I've practiced.
Because we are coming with the uppercut of information, Ryan. We are coming with the judo chop of knowledge.
And then we're going to finish it off with the arthritic leg sweep. A very slow leg sweeping learning.
I'm not going to lie, Ryan. That was not impressive.
I was trying to...
I want a refund on my $3.
I'm sorry. That's been lost.
I'm going to find your karate instructor, and I'm going to challenge him to a fight now.
I actually took the $3, and I bought a candy bar and a pack of gum.
You son of a bitch. You know what? That makes a lot more sense. Thank God I didn't go challenge your karate instructor to a deathmatch fight. I was this close to doing that. You almost got me murdered.
Sorry.
Did you at least save me half the candy bar?
You sold me on the fact that you didn't need the lessons, and that's why I had to get the lessons.
I don't need the lessons, but I don't know the level that your karate instructor's at. Maybe he does bare-knuckle cage fights every night of the week. How am I supposed to know these things? I mean, whatever. Let's just get to the news. First up, Star Wars news, as always. We got a couple of Star Wars stories. Let's see. Should we talk about how much money Disney's made, or give angry dad eyes to all the people who didn't go see Solo?
Let's start off with how much money they made.
So everybody who said Star Wars was going to lose money because of all the feminism, whatever, and all the lady parts running Star Wars. Well, guess what? You were wrong, and duh. Star Wars has not only recouped its $4 billion in less than 6 years. It's actually made more than that in 6 years. How about that?
Yeah. Whatever. That doesn't surprise me. Although I would have thought about it now. Like, how much do you think the Star Wars property be worth now? Definitely not $4 billion.
I was surprised it only sold for 4. I would have thought it was more north of 10. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, because what? It took Star Wars. They've made 4 movies, so it took Think about this. It took Disney 4 movies, to recoup the $4 billion that it spent on it.
Yeah, I'm sure George Lucas is like, God fucking damn it.
And one of those was the lowest grossing Star Wars movie of all time. So, I mean, listen, God. I mean, we joke. There's so many people who trash Star Wars because of Kathleen Kennedy and, the quote-unquote feminist agenda that Disney's running with. But honestly, I love everything that Disney has done with Star Wars since they bought it. There's literally not a single thing they've done that I've gone like, this is stupid. I mean, the only criticism I think we've ever had is we'd like to see more more books in the vein of kind of what came before it, with like some more Jedi stories, some more actual like Force users. It feels like the books right now.
Story about what the hell he did after Return of the Jedi.
Well, I don't even care about that. I just want more like more epic stories. The stories we get now are good, but they feel like a lot of filler. And I would like
basically
some
like who's going to be the a Rey trilogy.
Yeah, I mean, give me some more Knights of the Republic, or go 2,000 years in the future. I don't care. Just give me some epic novels. That has literally been my only complaint about Star Wars. But honestly, everything Disney I think has done has been magical. I've been watching Star Wars Resistance. I don't like it as much as I liked Rebels, but it's still a fun show. I just love everything they've done. So no surprise it only took them 6 years to recoup their money. I'm not even remotely shocked. Like I said, I was more shocked that Lucas only sold it for $4 billion. I thought it was worth more than that.
Did they announce that in like their earnings call or something? I can't
remember.
Yeah,
you know what? I didn't click on all the thing. Let me look here.
I remember I kind of breezed through it, but
let me look at the officials.
If you're talking about investment wise, I mean everything from here on out is just pure, profit. I mean.
Yeah, apparently it's just CNBC says that they have accumulated a total of $4.85 billion so far.
Yeah, so...
And that includes their licensing off the toys, the apparel. I mean, too bad they don't get a cut of my Star Wars tattoos, or else they'd really be rich.
They'd be getting that.
Dude, you know what I think about it? I better not go to Disney. If I go to Disneyland, I might get stopped by a Disney representative and maybe pay a franchise fee for my tattoos.
Just don't wear a tank top, and you'll be okay.
Dude, I can't. I'm gonna have to wear a long sleeve shirt. Forget a tank top. Got that new bad boy sneaking out. Yeah, we'll see.
Dude, that's insane. I wish I could make a profit on something like that.
$4 billion. I wish I could make $4 off the Geek Dad Report. $4 billion. Are you kidding me? Whatever.
See, we've been doing this for roughly 7 years.
Well, you've been doing this for kind of 7 years. We've been doing this show for going on 3 years, I think now.
Yeah, because I started the Geek Dad Report as a article, but
yeah,
it's progressed. It's getting there. It's gone from me typing words to us chatting about fucking random ass shit. So.
Yes, infinitely better. Speaking of things that are getting there, I know one thing that's not getting there, Ryan. Boba Fett. Kathleen Kennedy has confirmed that the Boba Fett movie is officially canceled. Done. Finite. Finished.
So, what killed it?
Well, I'll tell you what killed it. All the butthurt, whiny fanboys who didn't go see Solo. That's what killed it. I mean, okay, to be fair, that I'm not going to put all the blame on them. I think Disney did a terrible job of marketing Solo. I really enjoyed that movie, but most people didn't even know it was coming out or like know anything about it. I didn't even think we saw the first real trailer for Solo where Alden Ehrenreich spoke until like 2 weeks before the movie. So, I mean, if anything, Solo was proof that you can't just slap Star Wars on something and make $1 billion. You actually have to put marketing behind it. You have to pick a good time slot. But I mean, come on, we live in a day and age where Solo made $400 million and that's considered a commercial flop. Right? Yeah,
no shit.
I mean, Star Wars movies make $1 billion. That's the high one. That's the bar for Star Wars, unfortunately, for Solo. But yeah, I mean, we've long thought that a lot of these side projects weren't going to happen. I'm not even sure if a Boba Fett movie would have been a good idea anyway. But there is some stuff that came out about the script. Apparently, it wasn't going to be a standalone Boba Fett movie. It was going to be Boba Fett and all the bounty hunters we saw in Empire Strikes Back. So it was going to be more of an anti-hero where Boba Fett was the hero in it, which basically means you got to find a bunch of other villains that are more villainous. But I don't care. Honestly, Boba Fett to me has never been a character I've given a shit about, to be honest with you. Even from a young age, he's got cool armor. He's never done anything cool in any of the movies. Jango Fett was stupid, got his head chopped off. Boba Fett was stupid, got himself eaten by the Sarlacc pit, beaten by a blind man with a stick. I mean, this isn't an episode of Daredevil. Han Solo couldn't even see, and he whacked Boba Fett, and he falls into a fucking giant Sarlacc pit and is dead.
Even my son, he was like, I don't, like, I guess, like, Boba Fett looks cool and stuff. He's like, I don't get him.
Yeah, because he shouldn't. He's stupid. He's not even a real Mandalorian. He stole his armor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not only that, we're getting The Mandalorian. From all intents and purposes, it also sounds like this isn't just because of the Solo box office. They really want to focus on The Mandalorian. It sounds like a lot of their ideas, they really want to do a lot with their television shows for the Disney Play Network. I really think Disney's putting a lot... I mean, it makes sense. Netflix makes a shit ton of money. Netflix announced they have 125 million subscribers. You times that by $10...
minimum. And that's just, there's like some people that pay, for like the 5 screen at one time.
I mean, what is that? Is that $1 billion a month? Is that what they're making off their subscribers? $1 billion a month is what Netflix is making.
That's the only revenue though. There's no ads. There's no.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, but that's a ton of money, right? So I think Disney's looking at that and saying, shit, we own Star Wars and Marvel and Pixar. If we can't come up with original programming so people will pay $10 a month for our streaming service, we are doing something wrong. So they are putting the full weight behind their streaming service, and I think that's why they're focusing a lot of their efforts. If I had to guess, I would say a lot of these Star Wars ideas like Solo may end up becoming movies or TV shows, 10-episode shows on their channel, and we may only get the really big movies for the movies. So. And
what if they did like a Game of Thrones type
they are, dude. Mandalorian. Show. The Mandalorian has $100 million budget.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's the big one.
That's the first one they're launching with, and that's a Star Wars show with $100 million budget. That is a huge budget for that's $10 million an episode.
There's going to be a lot of special effects.
Oh, you think? I'm really excited for it. But yeah, I mean, listen, I've said it many times, I don't think too much Star Wars is too much Star Wars. I will take a new movie every 6 months. I don't care. I will watch them all.
Brian will take all... If you had Star Wars and an IV drip, Brian would hook up that IV drip to his vein every single night.
I see the value in not oversaturating the market. What I ultimately think would be right now the sweet spot for Star Wars, I think one movie every December would be perfect for Star Wars. I like their idea of giving us a big episode every couple years and then a couple smaller episodes every year, but just give us something every December. I want something every Christmas to go see Star Wars. I think that's a perfect release schedule, but we'll see. But we're not going to get a Boba Fett. It has not been officially confirmed that the Obi-Wan movie was canceled, partially because no one ever confirmed the Obi-Wan movie was actually being made. But we'll see about that one. We'll talk a little bit more about that one later. But since we're talking about...
I will say one thing, though. My son had a really good idea for a movie that he wants to see from Star Wars. Is that he wants to see a Chewbacca liberating the planet to free all the Wookiees.
I think that's a great idea. Let's make that Solo Part 2.
And then have the Wookiee just annihilate. He basically just wants to see Wookiees just ripping people apart.
Well, if you want to see Chewbacca, you'd have to bring in Alden a little bit. I mean, you could age him up a little bit, but that happens after Return of the Jedi when they finally free the Wookiees, so...
Oh, okay, because we were talking about that, because I didn't know that the planet had been saved. I thought the planet was still under the New Order.
So Chuck Wendig talked a lot about that in his second book of the Aftermath trilogy, Life Debt.
Okay.
So yeah, they freed the Wookiees. Chewbacca and Han go back and they kind of help liberate Kashyyyk after the Return of the Jedi. I can never say the name, but... too many S's and Y's. Yeah, there's Star Wars spelling is always kind of goofy, but yeah. So they go back. So I mean, I really liked Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo, so I would be okay with them making a Han Solo 2 maybe 10 years later and have them do it after Return of the Jedi. I don't care. I'll see all the Star Wars movies. I made that perfectly abundant.
Yes.
But back to the Disney streaming service, we've got some new information on some more Marvel shows. So we do know the Mandalorian is coming, but we also are starting to hear a lot about Marvel characters that are coming. We've already talked about there's going to be a Loki series. There's going to be a Scarlet Witch series, but we've got even more information. Apparently it's not just going to be a Scarlet Witch series. It's going to be a Scarlet Witch and Vision series. With Paul Bettany going to return as Vision. So unless they're giving us a spoiler, this could take place sometime during, after Civil War. No word yet on if this series. I mean, Loki is already dead. Vision's dead.
Are they still going to be live action?
Yes, they're live action with the actors from the movies.
Anime.
What?
Oh, Oh, okay. I thought they were doing it animated.
No, this is a live action. These are all going to be one shot. So limited series with the actors from the shows doing anywhere from 8 to 10 episodes of television with a lot of money put behind it. Produced by Kevin Feige, and these are officially part of the MCU, which is why they're bringing in the actors. And they're going to use some of the I guess the idea is to use the people who aren't going to get their own movies, but give them some really cool stuff to do that's part of the universe that either maybe fills in gaps in the movies we've already seen or even maybe expand the universe later on.
Do you think they'll use that to bring in the mutants?
I think there's a way that they could expand the mutants. I think that's how you bring in more mutants, right? So I think the core X-Men, the Wolverines, the Cyclopses are going to be in the movie. But there's thousands of different X-Men, right? And so this is a way you can bring more X-Men to the shows and still give us great content without having to put out a new X-Men movie every year. So I think, the possibilities. I'd almost rather see a Fantastic Four TV show than I would rather see a Fantastic Four movie.
I can already see my $10 a month subscribing
evaporated. Sorry. I mean, I'm willing to pay $75 a year just to watch Titans. I'm definitely paying $10 a month to watch all this shit.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So, like I said, with the Vision Scarlet Witch, that could easily be used to fill in some gaps. We don't know anything about the relationship. Last time we saw them in Civil War, they were kind of at odds. And by the time we see him in Avengers, they're clearly a couple. So the rumor is that show will fill in kind of the gaps between Civil War and Avengers Infinity War. But shows that could expand us into the future is apparently Disney's also going to focus on, last week we talked that they were going to do a Nick Fury show. Apparently they've decided to not scale Nick Fury. They've just got to scale that back. And instead they're going to focus on a Hawkeye and his protege, who apparently is going to be rumored to be appearing in the Avengers 4. So we may get a show after Avengers 4 with Jeremy Renner training the next Hawkeye. And this is where it's kind of cool, where Disney's smart. So we all love Jeremy Renner, and at the end of Avengers, you don't want to see him just walk into the sunset. But clearly we're going with new Avengers. But this is a way to introduce his heir apparent, but then give us 10 episodes to really fall in love with this character as he trains her and she becomes the next Hawkeye. So when the next Avenger movie comes out, you're like, boom, Hawkeye. I love the new Hawkeye, right?
Yeah, and it's everything's already fleshed out. They got to do like 2 solo movies to make it make sense.
And not just that, if you give us 10 episodes of an hour long, you're giving us 10 hours of Hawkeye. That's more than he's been in all the Avengers movies.
That's more than every Marvel movie he's been in combined. So,
and this is a way you can introduce Blade. I mean, there's so many, especially the MCU. These are not your Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Daredevil that don't tie in. These are MCU TV shows with the actors from the movies. So
yeah, and especially now that they have everything back under their control.
Yeah.
It's going to be, they can do so much stuff now.
Yeah, definitely. So, I don't know. I'm really excited about it, but we'll see. I mean, they have not officially announced everything yet, so I'm sure we're going to be getting a lot more, but Disney, you're getting my $10. All right, let's see. We got a couple quick stories. Let's blow through them real quick. Martin Lawrence and Will Smith have officially confirmed that Bad Boys 3 is a go. They both took to an Instagram video and started singing like "Bad Boys for Life," and it's gonna happen. So whatever.
They're going to be. They're too old now to be on the street, so they got desk jobs.
Isn't it like Bad Old Men? Isn't that what the name of the part 3 should be?
Yeah.
Hey, I did actually forget. Real quick, go back to MCU. Another series that has been announced. I forgot to talk about it. Is they're gonna do? Well, excuse me. They're gonna do a Falcon Winter Soldier show. So those two are doing a buddy show.
A Winter Soldier buddy show?
A Winter Soldier Falcon buddy show is what they're going to do.
And they're going to be secretly fighting for the Iron Captain America shield.
I have a feeling that's what's going to be. All I know is I want a cameo from Spider-Man. He's got to show up and kick their asses again real quick and then swing away. That was the best part of Civil War. When they're both... Yeah. When Winter Soldier and Falcon are both laying there like all spiderweb, and they're like, we tell no one about this.
Yeah.
Best part of Civil War.
And then the Spider-Man Homecoming talking about how he got the shield and everything.
Yeah, that was so good. All right, so anyway, MCU. All right, a couple quick hit things we got. Castlevania Season 2 is now streaming on Netflix. If you have not watched Castlevania, definitely check it out. Great show. Me and Ryan have not watched Season 2. As soon as we do, we will review it. But there's so much content we're trying to get through it. I think next week we're going to talk about Daredevil. We're both trying to get through that, and then we'll be on to Castlevania. But if you have not checked it out, we definitely highly recommend it. Netflix loves it, and they think that we're right, and so they went ahead and renewed it for Season 3, so do not fear.
They sent us an email and just to confirm.
Yeah, and then they said there was a link to some money for being such good advertisers, but the link doesn't work. I think it's a joke. What a bunch of dicks. This is why we're subscribing to Disney.
When I went to the link, though, it said that the account was valid, but there was no money left in it.
Oh. Moving on. Sigourney Weaver apparently has started filming Avatar Part 4 and 5. She just finished Avatar 2 and 3, which is so confusing because I'm 100% positive she died in Avatar 1.
Yeah, didn't she... She got shot up or something, didn't she?
She got shot, and then they tried to permanently move her into a blue cat person, but then it didn't work, and she died.
Yeah. God, I have not seen that movie. I barely remember anything.
Is anybody excited? I know Chris is excited, Evil Chris, but is anybody else on this planet? But I think it's only because he's got a thing for blue cat people. It's all that anime. It's his life of watching anime that has gotten him excited for Avatar.
He gets a little tingly when he sees blue cat people.
Dude, last time you were hanging out with him, did he try to put you in a blue cat suit? Because he did that to me, and I was like, I'm not wearing this blue cat suit. And it's not even like a cat suit. It's like a unitard with a lot of holes cut into it. It was very weird.
Well, there was only 2 holes cut into the one that he wanted, and yeah, it was very weird.
Because, hey, I'm a people person. I mean, he's a fan of the show and a good friend, so I'm like, hey, we can hang out and we can talk about Avatar. But then he busts out these costumes, and I just had to leave. It was really weird. Kind of awkward. Especially when I'm like, these are so skin tight. How do you get into it? And he pulled out this giant vat of Vaseline. It was huge. Well, he's like, he goes, I'll lather you up, and we can put the suit on. And I'm like, I think I'm just gonna go home.
Well, he's also got the giant Avatar blue dildo thing, and
Okay, well, your session went much longer than my session did, so we'll see. Yeah. Anyway, if anybody else is excited about Avatar, we'd love to hear from you. I'm sure we'll hear from Chris. All right, moving on. PlayStation Classic has been officially announced. Well, we've known about it for a while, but the lineup has officially been announced. And as soon as my shit loads, I have it for you right here. So if you want the PlayStation Classic, this is the games it's going to launch with. Battle Arena Toshinden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, I think that's the one that a lot of people are looking forward to.
Pretty much. Grand Theft Auto, Intelligent Cube, GTA, baby. For number 1. Metal Gear Solid, which is a great game. Jumping Flash, Mr. Driller, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, which is a great game. Rayman, another great game. Resident Evil Director's Cut, Revelations Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter 2, Turbo, Siphon Filter, great game. Tekken 3, great game. Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, fantastic, and Wild Arms.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I remember playing Twisted Metal with my friend. Yes. That game was fun.
Sadly, though, we are not getting Castlevania. We are not getting Final Fantasy Tactics. We are not getting a few.
Well, you got to remember though, the original PlayStation had 8 or 9 years. I mean that. Before they went to the PlayStation 2? I mean,
I kind of would like to see the original Tomb Raider on there, man. That was a great game.
Yeah, I mean, they're just... The original PlayStation had so many games. There's going to be people who are going to be disappointed, that 1 or 2 of their favorites got left off. But, I mean, they can only do so many.
I mean... I haven't seen the price point on this, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be somewhere around the Super Nintendo, so probably somewhere between $80 and $100. I mean, that's a lot of games for that. And as somebody who's never played Final Fantasy VII, I might pick it up just for that, so we'll see. Especially since they keep like not releasing the remake of Final Fantasy VII. Whatever. All right, last couple stories we got. Before we move on here, let's see. Target, if you are a video game, if you're trying to buy video games for your significant other, this is a little public service announcement. Target is having their buy two, get one free sales on video games, so buy away. What else we got? Penny Dreadful. If you like Penny Dreadful on Showtime, like I did, it got the axe after 3 seasons, which was really surprising. But apparently Showtime has seen the error of their ways and are bringing it back. It is going to be set in a new time frame with a new theme. It's going to be Penny Dreadful, City of Angels. It's going to be set in 1930s Los Angeles, so looks pretty cool. I'm excited.
Never watched it, but I remember hearing good things.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I need to watch the final season. I didn't watch season 3 because they canceled and I was pissed, but I need to go back and finish it. Speaking of when we were talking about Avatar, things that are make you go, what? Apparently Ridley Scott and Paramount are moving forward with the Gladiator sequel.
Wait, he died and went back to his wife and son or something.
So, I was a little confused myself, but a good friend of the show, Matt, reached out and said, you know what? There was a lot of ideas floating around that were kind of crazy. They could work. One of them being that when he died, he went to Hades. He had to fight Hades because they had his family locked away, so it became more of an underworld, like, story, which got me thinking, like, what if Gladiator 2 is actually like a backdoor plot for God of War?
Oh, okay, I can see that.
That would be awesome.
They didn't really have like any mythological, like, religious stuff in Gladiator, though.
No, but here's what you do. You bring in what's Jake Sully's name? What's his name? The guy who played Jake Sully in Avatar. He also was in Clash of the Titans. Sam Worthington. Sam Worthington looks like a young
Russell Crowe.
So you bring him in, and then you send him to the underworld, and you go straight Percy Jackson and the Olympians, right? You go straight like Clash of the Titans, but you do it Gladiator. You do him as Maximus, and you do it as God of War. I say that. I say do it.
Master of killing people. I think that could work, honestly. God, I want to watch Gladiator now. I haven't watched that in forever.
Are you not entertained?
Oh.
That's dude, that is one of my all-time favorite movies. I just don't see how you can make a sequel unless you just go in a batshit crazy direction.
Yeah, either batshit crazy direction or like you can't do it.
I don't want to see another story about a different Gladiator. That story only worked because it was Maximus Aurelius, and it was like John Wick but Gladiator. Is really what that was.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I mean, you can't do like here's the next Roman emperor that everybody hates.
Oh, and another Gladiator. I don't want to see that. I want to see like Maximus. Like if he's kind of, like I said, if he comes back as the God of War, I'm in for that.
Just like going crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of sequels that are getting greenlit, apparently Hitman's Bodyguard is getting a sequel. It's called Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. It's Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson are on board. Sadly, that was a movie that was very disappointing. I watched it, and it just wasn't that funny.
I don't even remember that movie came out. I forgot they even made a Hitman movie.
It had so much potential, and there were good moments, but it just wasn't as good as I thought it would be. We watched it like on HBO or something, and honestly, I just remember playing the first game, and all I did was in the very first level, I just went behind every single person and just garroted everybody, and then dragged them. I'm not talking about Hitman. I'm talking about Hitman's Bodyguard. It's a movie starring Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson.
Bodyguard? I thought that was based off the Hitman video game.
No! There's a movie called Hitman's Bodyguard starring... So Ryan Reynolds is a bodyguard, and Samuel Jackson is the world's like... Oh my God, Ryan. He's the world's most deadly assassin. Okay. And he gets hired to protect the Hitman. So he's the Hitman's bodyguard. Okay,
I got confused from how you said it, I guess.
I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah. So anyway, the first movie's
I was thinking of the game.
The first movie's not that great. Hopefully the second one will be better. Whatever. It did well enough to make a sequel to it. So, all right, and then lastly, we got some Game of Thrones news. The new Game of Thrones series officially has a title. It is called The Long Night. It is a prequel series that has been greenlit at HBO. There's like 4 more still in development, but this is the one that has been like given the thumbs up.
This was the one that George R. Martin was working on.
Yes, and there's I forget her name, but there's a lady showrunner who's helped co-writing this with George R. R. Martin. They made their first big casting news. Naomi Watts is going to play the lead, so I can see this makes sense. You know, in Game of Thrones they got Cersei. You know, they got a good actress who kind of anchored the series. I feel like that's what they're trying to do with this as well. But I know they cast the male lead. It's not somebody that I was familiar with, so I forgot to mention his name. But
see, Naomi Watts, because Game of Thrones is all about, you know, how you look is, you know, what family you're from. So I'm guessing she's going to be a Lannister?
She could be. I don't know. You said you were familiar a little bit, so I figured we'd take a second because you said you have read some of the history of Westeros. The Long Night, you said you're familiar with this, so could you give us, without giving any spoilers, what is the Long Night?
So the Long Night is basically, you know how Westeros, the seasons are kind of weird. You know,
so hang on, is this post Fall the Doom? This is post Fall of Valyria?
This is 8,000 years before the Targaryens came to Westeros.
Whoa. So, okay,
this is before the Fall of Valyria.
Okay, so we've got the Targaryens up in Valyria doing their thing, and so this takes place with the rest of Westeros doing their own thing?
This is before Valyria became like the expanded giant empire that it was.
Okay, so there was Valyria, and then there was the rest of Westeros. So what are we talking? Are we talking like the Starks, the Lannisters? We're talking about the big houses minus the Targaryens?
So, I'm not. I can't remember. I know that the Starks are in the north. I don't know about the Lannisters. Because everything to the south there was a lot of there's at least 100 different kingdoms basically. Like everybody kind of had their own.
Okay, so how about the event, the Long Night? I mean, is that a specific event?
It's a winter that lasted about a generation.
Okay, so it's was super long. Is this the time of Bran the Builder? Is this like?
This is what leads to. This is in the Age of Heroes.
So could this be the first? So is this series something that maybe we might see the beginnings of the White Walker? Maybe the first battle against the White Walkers.
The White Walkers existed throughout the Long Night, and the Battle of the Dawn was the last big battle before they were able to push the walkers away.
Okay,
and then
so what
building the wall.
So what we could be seeing with these two series, and that actually would make a lot of sense too, because it'd be two bookends really. You'd be seeing we're about to see how the story ends.
Yeah, and then that's a very good way.
And so this would actually tell how the story began with the White, like how the wall got there, how they pushed him back in the first place. That'd be kind of cool. Because then you could come to it and you could get two very different stories, but honestly, they really loop together in one big saga. That'd be pretty sweet. Plus, it's so far in the past, you don't know who lives, who dies. You could still involve the intrigue of Game of Thrones.
Well, and you can include anybody. You can make up a lot of new people. So
and the beauty of this is that you don't care about the drama. Even if we know we know the White Walkers are probably going to be defeated at the end of Game of Thrones, but that's not what moves the story. What moves the story is who is going to survive. Same thing that can move the story with the prequel. We know the White Walkers. Just because we know the White Walkers will get pushed back, we don't know who survives while that happens, right? And that is the intrigue of the story, and that's why I think Game of Thrones, a prequel, is going to work really well. I'm really excited for it.
The only thing about the long, we're going to know that the Starks survive, but everyone else that they include in it is
we know a lot of the names will survive, but we don't know who from those names.
Yeah, that's true.
My guess is the Starks are going to have 17 children, so you're like, ooh, which one lives? They all die.
Which one's Bran?
Yeah.
Okay, there's Bran.
So quick little note on Game of Thrones. We have purposely not said any spoilers because I am so excited. I don't want to know anything about next season because finally we're getting close to 2019. But apparently Peter Dinklage did let a little loose that says the final battle scene of Game of Thrones says that it will make the Battle of the Bastards, which is by far the biggest battle scene ever on Game of Thrones seem like a skirmish.
Yeah, they're going to go all out.
They spent $150 million on 6 episodes. Think about that. Apparently, almost every episode is a feature-length film, and they spent $120 million or $150 million on it. I cannot wait to see this. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, there's going to be 2 dragons fighting in the air,
and everyone says it's going to be bittersweet.
Going to run up to a ledge, jump off it, jump on the back of the bad dragon.
All I know is Jon Snow's lightsaber better be a lightsaber.
Jon Snow is going to find out that he's banging his aunt.
Oh.
And
why do you got to talk about the weird part of the show? Oh, God. Anyway, all right, moving on. Last little bit of news we got for you guys is Ian McGregor has officially been cast as the villain in the Birds of Prey movie, the Harley Quinn, Batgirl, Huntress movie. He's going to be playing Black Mask, which is a new villain. He's kind of a criminal undermine. He's got like his face looks like a black skull. Pretty cool Batman villain, and it's going to be a new villain in the DCEU extended super Elseworlds universe. I don't know what the fuck they call it.
Well,
but
couldn't ask for a better actor.
Yeah, great actor. In fact, I infinitely became more excited when I saw that he got casted as the villain. This does kind of tie back into our Star Wars news a little bit that, a lot of people have said he's been sitting around waiting to play Obi-Wan. So unless they filmed a secret Obi-Wan movie, it does sound like maybe that is off the table and he's now moving on to other projects. So
that's kind of sad. I wanted to see him just sand people in it up.
Here's the thing. I feel like we know all about Obi-Wan that we need to know, but I do feel like there's more left to tell of that character, and I love his portrayal as Obi-Wan, and I thought it'd be a great way to kind of bridge the prequels with the sequels, but whatever.
It's great to find out how he's raised Dad.
We'll see. Raised Grandpa. Time to line up.
That's true.
All right, and that is all the news we have for you guys. There you go. Let's see. We don't have a lot of questions from the faithful. Do we want to spend 5 minutes talking about TV, or do you just want to save that for some other time?
Let's save it for another time.
All right.
I'm sure we're going to expand on these questions. Let me just refresh really quick.
All right, so while Ryan's refreshing, next week, guys, we're going to try and do, if you guys can think and gals can think of some TV, we're going to do a TV segment, and it'll be a little bit of The Walking Dead. We're going to get the last Rick Grimes episode of The Walking Dead. So our special segment next week, we're going to talk about all the new shows we're watching, kind of what's up with the shows, like Flash, Arrow. What do we think about these seasons? Shows we've maybe given up on. And we will kind of recap the final Rick Grimes episode, and we'll do a long segment about TV shows. So this is your chance. We don't usually give you guys forewarning. This is your chance to let us know over the next week if there's a show you think we should be watching, or you want our opinion on, or any questions you have about television shows. We're going to do a segment.
I'll make a post tomorrow. Yes. And I'll find some kind of TV thing.
Well, why don't we do it Monday, so it gives people a chance to watch this episode over the weekend, and then we'll throw it up on Monday. But we'll throw something up, and then we're gonna have a nice long TV discussion. We're gonna talk about Titans. We're gonna talk about Daredevil. We're gonna talk about hopefully Castlevania. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. So, like I said, Flash, Arrow, some other new shows. But if you have something you want us to watch, don't say This Is Us, because I fucking refuse to watch that show. I don't give a shit. But
it's so good.
I don't care. Anyway, there you go. Little teaser for next week.
Cry every time I watch it. I just cry.
Oh God, I've heard they're trying to make you cry now every episode. It's kind of getting predictable. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm not talking about the show. All right, moving on from the Faithful 50. Ryan, what do we got?
We have our first question is from I can't remember how to say Boring Chris, but Boring Chris.
It's bad judgment.
Bad judgment.
No longer take his review seriously, Chris.
Yes, that one. He wants to know, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Oh my God.
Ice cream is great. Even though it is not technically an ice cream, I'll say my favorite flavor is rainbow sherbet.
That's like saying, what's your favorite way to receive happiness? I don't care. I just love happiness. What do you want from me?
Yeah.
Rainbow sherbet is not an ice cream. We've talked about this.
I'm just saying, if I have to have my pick,
That's like
there's
saying, what's your
always
favorite
rainbow
kind of
sherbet.
car? A moped. A moped is not a car.
Why? I'm just saying, Brian. That's my favorite. If I go to an ice cream place, I get rainbow sherbet.
I'm going to go with the fucking classic, cookie dough. You can never go wrong with cookie dough.
Yeah, that's true. If
Unless
I
you get
have to,
sherbet.
I'll get the chocolate chip mint.
Ugh. And if I have to go with the sherbet, I'd probably go orange vanilla swirl sherbet.
That sounds gross.
So do you.
You're gross.
You're the gross one. You're the grossest of the. You're grody. You have grody cootie groats.
You know who's not gross, Brian? Is Christina. She's got a couple questions
Christine
for us.
is the best. And you know what, Christine? We are going to give you a prize. She commented. We said last week, if you watch the entire episode and call us out, we're going to give you something. We're going to give you something, Christine. You're going to get a gift. I'm not sure. We haven't decided yet what it's going to be. We'll figure it out, but we'll send you something. Let us know what you'd like as a present, and we'll send it to you.
So she's got a question that's just for you, Brian.
Of course.
Because
I'm the best.
I'm not cool enough, nor am I a personal friend of hers. So she wants to know, how many superhero mugs do you have, Brian?
Well, Christine, this may surprise you, but I actually only have one. My wife does have a Wonder Woman one that I've used on the show a few times, so I steal her mug occasionally just so I alternate. But this is my Superman cup is really the only superhero cup I have. I do have a lot of Star Wars cups, so I'll kind of lump them all into one. How many like kind of nerdy centric cups do I have? I have the Superman one. Will include my wife's Wonder Woman one, and then I got a Mickey Mouse one that I got from Disneyland, so we won't count that. That's not really that nerdy. I have 5 Star Wars coffee mugs.
I got one, like my biggest one is a Star Wars one, but
I would use the other ones on the show. The reason why I use this one on the show the most is because it's a really big cup, so I can pour a lot of water or whatever I'm drinking in here, so I don't have to constantly keep refilling. Some of my Star Wars ones are more like the little 8-ounce ones, so you have to constantly keep filling them up.
And the Superman one inspired a whole episode title. So
Superman Whiskey Nipples. We might have to do Superman Whiskey Nipples Part 2. I would honestly, to be honest, I don't find a lot of really good superhero mugs. There's so much more Star Wars merchandise than there is good superhero stuff. Marvel really is lacking in coffee cups. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a Marvel coffee cup at the store.
yeah.
Or else I'd get one.
And just in case anybody wanted to know, all of my coffee cups are from places that we visited, because that's what I get from my keepsake.
I get magnets on my fridge.
Everyone's got them.
Well, I also get shot glasses, but I'm literally up to about 700 shot glasses, and I don't know what to do with them all.
Yeah, there is a point where there's too many shot glasses. Thank you, Christine.
Yes, thank you.
And, let's see, for her second question, she wants to know, how come you don't have a toy collection?
Oh, okay, wait a minute. First of all, Ryan, I think you owe Christine an apology. No, you owe her an apology, because the last question you were like, well, I guess I'm not good enough. And she actually, because she's great and thoughtful and thought of both of us, she left a question for me, and then she left one for you. So I think there's somebody on this show who owes somebody an apology.
No, I was 100% about to do it until you tried to make it seem like you're the White Knight.
No, I just think you were being a raging asshole, and I don't want you to offend our best
we should just make sure everybody knows that if there is one person who is a little bit more on the asshole side, it is not me.
Whatever.
I'm a tender teddy bear.
Whatever.
And Christine,
commence with the apology. We don't have all day.
All right. So, Christine, one, very sorry. I didn't see that one coming. And my toy collection, so 2 years ago, I moved across the whole country to accept a job in Philadelphia. And we put everything we owned into a storage unit because we thought we were going to last out here for maybe 2-3 years tops. And then we found out that we really liked it here. And so all of my toys, including my big, huge red Hulk and my giant rhino that I got from companies. All of my Halo ones that Brian's super jealous that I got. Yep, those are all in a box in a storage unit in Utah. And I haven't even gone to the storage unit in like 3 years now. So I'm pretty sure everything is just like rat infested or something.
So I was checking out. All I was hearing was a lot of excuses. So I'm not really sure what's going on here.
So yeah, that's all of my toys are in a storage unit. And once we can drive out there and get it, then I will be displaying all of them. But I do have one just not with me. I could just start a new one, I guess.
That was a long-winded way of saying that he's not as cool as me and Christine. That's why he doesn't have toys.
Don't even get me started on long-winded responses, Brian.
God, you talk too much as it is, Ryan. We don't have time for that kind of nonsense.
God, I'm sorry I took up a whole 3 minutes of the time.
All right. Any other questions? Thank you, Christine.
Not from our main post, good sir.
I got one. Do you want me to read it?
I know Jeff.
I got one from my BFF, Jeff, who doesn't like you anymore.
Was my friend, but he's not my friend anymore. But
he's now my friend. Of course, I don't know if he's going to be my friend anymore since I covered up my Superman tattoo. He seems very angry. Jeff, I want you to know that every time you post a sad or angry Superman, it makes me laugh. And it inspires me to maybe get another Superman tattoo.
Brian just going to get the giant Superman crest on his chest.
No, I will not. I may get something like on my back. I got like my arm. So anybody don't know, I've been covering up my Superman tattoo, and I got 2 more sessions, but this is where we're at right now. So it's much bigger than I anticipated. So I'm not gonna have a lot of room left on this arm, and then I got maybe this Indiana Jones thing I'm gonna do over here. So I'm not sure I'm gonna put a Superman. But Jeff, I'm really thinking about you, buddy. I might have to get something else. We'll see.
I'm going to get right above your junk. Superman.
What? No! Lord, my wife thinks these are hot. If I get a Superman tattoo above my junk, she will not think that's hot. Guaranteed. No. I'll be out. Jeff might think it's hot. I might have to shack up with you, Jeff.
Jeff
you got Jeff, you got room in like your garage for me? Because the only person who's going to love me anymore is you with my fucking super dick tattoo. Anyway, all right, here we go. Moving on. From Jeff, my BFF who no longer likes Ryan. If you could stop hair from growing on one part of your body, what would you pick? This is, you know what, Jeff? This is how I know you're one of us, because this is a question. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of ladies who would answer this question as well. But this is definitely a old man dad question right here. Yeah. I'm telling you right now. I would have to say my back. I have
stopped grooming. I've aside from my beard, I don't groom on my chest, or anything.
Listen, I don't groom on my chest. Like, I don't mind the hairy chest. Like, I feel like that feels manly. I'm fine with that. And I'm pretty lucky. Like, I got blonde hair and I don't have like a Robin Williams like fuzzy back. But any back, I just think any back hair looks gross, and I wish I didn't have any. And I wish if I shaved it would just never come back. I can, you know what? I got hairy legs. Whatever. Dudes for the most part are supposed to have hairy legs. I'm fine with that. All my other parts you can just trim up and live with. You can do a little manscaping. But how are you supposed to manscape your back? You can't. I mean, you get a few hairs in your ears or nose, you can just kind of pluck them out. But like your back, what are you supposed to do? I can't like.
It's too hard to like shave. I mean, you can get like your shoulders.
God, and not only that, like, have you ever been, like, at a pool and you see a dude who clearly is shaving his back, but now he's let the stubble grow back in, and you're like, that's even worse than having hairy back.
It looks, and then there's like that one little strip.
Yeah, that he clearly missed, or his wife hates him, and she's like, haha, fucker, I'm going to just leave this strip for you.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Back hair. Back hair is the fucking worst. I hate back hair. Like I said, I don't know. I feel bad for Robin Williams. Well, I mean, I guess I don't feel bad for him. He's no longer with us. But when he was alive, that dude looked like he wore a sweater at all times, right? I just can't even imagine having that much back hair. I'd just be like, eh. I would probably go get a laser removed. I'll be honest. I'll go through the pain.
I would go with armpit hair. It's completely unnecessary.
What?
Don't do it.
Come on, it's fine.
What do you need armpit hair for?
Nothing. That's probably true. So you'd rather have a hairy back than have armpit hair?
I don't have a hairy back.
Well, I guess that's true.
Have like
I guess this question could be tailor fitted.
Look, I'm 36 years old and I don't even have I have like one chest hair.
Well, don't pluck it, then you'll have no chest hairs. Dude, put away the fucking white billboard, dude. Jesus Christ. You're getting blinded over here. No, Ryan, look. Man.
I'm
man
sorry.
chest.
I don't go on a tropical vacation.
This is why you better hope I win our bet, because I'm going to look much better without a shirt on than you're fucking... I might have to adjust my contrast.
I'll go to a tanning bed.
You better, because that shit's... You don't even have any hair to, like, give us a different shade of white. You have, like, fucking... I mean, if you shaved your head, we got a powder situation going on over here.
I wouldn't mind shaving my head. I haven't done that in a long time.
Oh my god! All right, this conversation.
I got too much of this long, thick hair.
Oh, that's where we're going with this. Is that where we're gonna go?
It's annoying when you have all this really long, thick hair on your head.
I got long, thick hair on my back. What do you want from me, fucker? Jeff, if the question is where do I wish I could have more hair, on my goddamn head. I'm not bald, but it's definitely thinning. Some bullshit. Old age sucks.
I would like to have more than one chest hair. That's all I want.
Tell you what, I'll give you my chest hair and you'll give me your head hair. What?
When that puberty kicks in and I start getting all that chest hair.
Listen, I feel fortunate. I had a buddy who started balding at 18. I at least have a full head of hair. It's just not thick anymore. It's just going to let out some of it. See, I got hair.
You know, I remember the kid that was like 16 and he was already growing like the big, huge, thick beard.
Yeah.
I'm sure that kid just got like massive, like,
dude.
Back hair.
Every friend I ever had who had giant bushy beards had massive just hair everywhere. Yeah. I couldn't even grow a beard until I was about 35. So, whatever. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you, Jeff, for the question.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Anyone else?
Nope. I know that was all I had. But we had good ones, though.
It was.
We had chest hair, toys, and ice cream. My favorite subjects. All right.
Rainbow sugar.
Anyway, all right. Finally, our last section. Weekly recommendations. What you should or should not waste your time doing this week. We don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's vitally important. So we are going to give the same recommendation that we gave last week. Get off your asses on Tuesday. For anybody who doesn't have a ballot like Ryan, I've already mailed in my ballot. Ryan, unfortunately, because Philadelphia is ran by a bunch of assholes, makes you show up and wait in line for like 9 hours, which is stupid.
I think you can get absentee ballots.
That's irrelevant. I'm on a rant.
Yeah.
Especially when you live in states like Washington, who just say, here you go. Here's 2 pamphlets breaking down every candidate and everything you need to know about any propositions, and here's your ballot. This year, we didn't even have to walk it to a ballot box. You can just, there's already postmarked. You can just drop it in the mailbox.
Now, did you guys have any cool ballot measures? Because I realized that I looked it up in Philadelphia. There's only been like 12 ballot measures in the last 20 years.
We had some.
There's like no ballot measure. I was like, I want to like vote.
All right, so this is what you get in an all blue state. Now, I know that there are some people who maybe watch this who are not a, bleeding heart liberal like me and Ryan. So, I understand that these initiatives may not make you excited, but they make me excited. And when you live in a state that is controlled, the entire government is all blue. The governor, the legislature, everything is blue. These are the kind of propositions you get. We have the very first, and I'm proud of some of these, we have the very first carbon tax bill put on a ballot is going to be the first bill ever voted on by the people in the country. For carbon tax. We are trying to curb pollution and trying to help save the fucking planet from falling off the proverbial ledge.
Well, maybe you should add another lane to I-5.
Well, yeah, listen. There's much debate about, like, where's this money going to go? All that shit is erroneous. We are all going to die if we don't do something. And step one is putting a carbon tax on the biggest polluters in Washington. Yes, there's always some loopholes and some people that it doesn't apply to, but I think this is personally, I think this is a pretty good step. Yes, will it make our gas more expensive? Yes, it's supposed to. It wants you to stop driving as much because we are slowly cooking the planet. Is it going to force us to yell at our power companies? Absolutely, it's going to force us to yell at our power companies and say, no, I don't fucking care. I'm not paying higher prices. you need to fire some of your corporate executives because I'm not paying more for my power. And that is what power companies are scared of, which is why they don't want this thing to go through. So it's a pretty cool thing. It also, we're supposed to, supposedly the proceeds, like 80% of the proceeds from this tax are going to go towards making Washington state renewable. So switching all of our government facilities to solar and wind and all that stuff. So it'll probably get shot down. A ton of money has been spent by big oil and big energy companies too.
Are they doing all the doom and gloom?
Oh yeah.
No.
This is a tax. Your gas, it's going to be a 50 cents a gallon tax hike. You Washington families can't afford this. I'm like, whatever. You guys are horseshit. This bill doesn't actually tax anybody in Washington other than companies. They may choose to transfer that onto us, but we have the right to go tell them to go fuck themselves, right? So that's the difference here. But so that's one of the bills that's on our ballot. Another one is enhanced police training, making it much more. It's redefining. They want to retrain cops in much more non-lethal uses of force and how to de-escalate situations, and also redefine the justifications for actually being able to draw your weapon and kill somebody. This is obviously in light of all the murders that have been happening by cops lately, which I think training cops is never, giving cops additional training and helping them learn to de-escalate situations is never a bad thing. But as you can imagine, that is also hotly contested. People are on both sides of this thing, which I don't understand how they can be. What's another one that's really big? Oh, we're having a very massive gun law. We want to make, this one sounds like it's going to pass. Semi-automatic weapons from 18 to 21, a 10-day waiting period on all semi-automatic weapons, a storage law that you have to actually properly store your weapons, or if you don't and they're stolen off your counter and used in a felony, you can in fact be charged with a felony. If your toddler gets a gun and blows his goddamn head off, you may actually go to jail, which should fucking happen because people need to lock up their goddamn guns.
You don't need to keep a shotgun next to your front door.
You don't need to keep a loaded weapon on your fucking dresser because somebody may break into your house. No, it's probably more likely your child's going to accidentally shoot his friend or her friend or blow off his own head than it is that you're going to fucking arm yourself against an invader. So, I mean, whatever. But obviously, as you can tell, that has been getting a lot of heat around here.
Be a contested one.
Also, you would have to get... the other thing is you'll have to be... Even once you're 21 and you want a semi-automatic weapon, you have to go through a special training class and get a permit to be able to carry it. So kind of like a license, like a driver's license a little bit, which I think is all good things, right? It's not bad to take more responsibility for high-powered weapons.
I'm from Washington. I grew up in a family that my dad grew up in Darrington, Washington, which was, a logging town through and through. And, if they didn't shoot, a deer or something, they weren't eating meat.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not against weapons.
So I fully understand. I mean, and even my grandpa, who's like, he's from the South. He grew up in the South. He's a big hunter, and, he obviously votes Republican and stuff. But even from when I was a little kid, he'd always told me that, a hunting rifle are good. He doesn't understand why anybody needs something that shoots, 60 bullets a second, and even he thinks that the gun, are fucking out of control. So.
No, and here's the thing. Listen, I'm not anti-guns. I am a gun owner. I have no problem, but I take responsibility. And as far as people, I mean, the big argument is like, well, if somebody breaks into your home, sorry, everybody who we kind of veered into politics a little bit here, but the argument is anybody who, it takes away your ability to defend your home quickly. If someone breaks into your gun and you have your gun in a gun safe, you're not going to be able to get it out. Well, I call bullshit. There are plenty of gun safes that you have lock codes, or you can even put your palm on and immediately unlock, so you could keep secured in your nightstand. I mean, I don't think the gun law, they haven't come out with some specifics. I seriously doubt they're going to require you to have a, 2-ton gun safe locked in your garage, double, I'm pretty sure it's just like, hey, is your shit in a lockbox?
Yeah, put it in something that's not easily accessible. That's basic.
I mean, that you could put somewhere. I mean, it's just, we've got to, this isn't even aimed at getting guns off the street. This is aimed at suicide by kids and accidental shootings is what this is aimed at. I mean,
or a kid that has mental health issues taking all his parents' guns and going and shooting up a fucking school.
Because they're not even, they're just laying around. And also, the other thing that it's aimed at is people, this may deter people who don't want to be responsible for the guns. Just saying, you know what, I don't want a gun. I don't want to deal with all the extra nonsense. I don't need a gun. I just don't want to buy one, right? And that will help keep people safe, right? I mean, people who take guns seriously absolutely should be able to get guns, take them seriously for the right reasons. But people who don't take them seriously, or who are fucking lunatics, or anybody who walks into a gun shop and says, I need an AR-15 with 1,000 rounds today, right now, that person definitely does not need a gun.
I'm a firm believer in, if you're not a hunter and I don't understand the reason why you really own a gun, other than having at least one like handgun or something for defense purposes.
Well, here's the thing though. I got handguns. I got a .40 caliber. I'm more likely to blow a hole through the wall and shoot one of my own kids than I am shooting I have bats and other weapons that I can use. I think I need to get a shotgun.
We keep a bat under our bed.
Listen, I am much more effective with my bat. I have this like wood katana. I bet you I could fuck up a burglar with that more than I could my pistol. But hey, I got it in case I need it. We'll see.
Lightsaber. My wife has a bat under her side, and I have my lightsaber on the other.
I just need a shotgun because nothing is more terrifying than the sound of a.
I don't know. A shotgun, you can just put a sound. What if you had a bat, or if you just had like a little tape recorder thing?
What if I just get a chainsaw?
And you just turn it on, and it just plays the shotgun sound.
What if I just get a chainsaw? Someone's like coming into your house, and all of a sudden they hear a chainsaw fire up. They're probably just gonna run away.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So we've got some really cool initiatives on our ballot this year. I'm very excited. Like I said, I already voted. But everybody vote. This may be the most important election of our lifetimes. And, we're not, like I said last week, we're not telling you who to vote for, but we're just saying vote. Let your voice be heard. Everyone likes to talk about all the things soldiers die for. Well, this is actually what they died for us to be able to voice our opinion freely, for us, me and Ryan, to be able to get on the show and say whatever fucking crazy shit we want to and not have to worry about somebody kicking in our door and arresting us. That is why they voted. That's why they died. Voting allows that to stay the way it is, and God damn it, we're lucky to have this right, and we should definitely voice it. Christine, I know we've given you a lot of love on this show, but I want to give you another shout out. She quickly commented on our show last week, sending a picture of her ballot, saying that she took our recommendation. I feel like she was going to vote anyway, but thank you, and tell everybody, vote. Everybody vote. If you are old enough to vote and registered, get your ass in line or send in your ballot and let your voice be heard.
Get some of your friends, get a flask, and stand in line and drink the flask.
Make a party. And if you're any of my friends, next Tuesday, I'm going to have a fucking bottle of booze, and I'm going to be sitting in front of my TV all day next Tuesday watching this election. And every time a Republican gets nominated outs a Democrat, I'm going to take a shot. Because I'm either one of two things going to happen. I'm either going to be dead, or I'm going to be drunk and happy. That's all.
It's going to be very stressful. Oh, and don't forget, Sunday is set your clock back.
Fall back.
Daylight savings time.
It's the good savings time, which is another thing we need to do.
Yeah.
Which if we get...
It's 12 o'clock. Now it's 11 o'clock.
And that's something else you could write your congressman about. Be like, hey, get rid of daylight savings time. It's stupid. So, like I said, join me on Tuesday. We're either going to have a few shots and be wasted, or if too many Republicans get nominated, we'll just die of alcohol poisoning, which is fine because I don't know if I want to live in this world anyway after that point.
I might take my job up on that overseas deployment.
Yes,
so.
And if you want to contribute even more, if you're like, I voted, but I feel like I need to do more, God, what is it? Pod Save America is doing a lot of cool stuff. You can...
Save America.
Pod Save America. They did Vote Save America, and they also have a website where it shows you all the most important races that are in smaller districts. Where if you want to donate any money, you can actually donate and help their funds. I'm going to go on here. I'm going to go on there tomorrow, this weekend. And I'm going to try and donate some cash to these last minute races that are very close. It
is actually Vote Save America /donate, and then whatever you donate goes to the top 10 races where your dollar will stretch the most.
Yes. So I'm going to try and donate some cash. If you got $5, donate it. It's cool if you really want to help. But anyway, Important people, vote. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
And then,
anyway, I think that's the show. You got anything else? Do you want to tell everybody where they can find us before we get the fuck out of here?
Sleepy times for me.
Maybe.
No. But, wait, did you ask me about...
Yeah, Brian, where can they find us before we get out of here?
Brian, they can find us on YouTube at the Geek Dad Report and Facebook at the Geek Dad Report. We're also on Twitter as Geek Dad Report. Brian is Brian West 53, and I am Big Bruiser. Find us on podhell.com along with our friends, the Utah Outcast. And you can also find us on iTunes at the Geek Dad Report. So please go to any one of those places, leave a comment, give us a 5-star rating, and subscribe. And then tell at least 5 of your friends about it.
We're desperate at this point. Tell 2 of your friends.
While you guys are waiting in line to vote, you could turn on the Geek Dad Report.
Geek Dad Report.
And just listen to it in the line. And then
play it on a loudspeaker. Like, say anything. Get a boombox and play it loud so everybody in line has to listen to us babble.
Like raise your phone above your head.
Yes, like that. And just do it. But, yeah, I think that's it. Do all those things, and hopefully we'll see you next Thursday with big smiles on our faces. I promise next Thursday will not be a political episode. We may be a little crouchety depending on how things go, so I'm just warning you in advance.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be gleefully happy people.
Just take deep breaths.
Anyway, all right, everybody, that's the show. Thank you for watching. Until next week, everyone, stay awesome.
And stay nerdy.